if we are having to upload the live stream and the recording, then it bogs down the whole thing.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So if you ever do this, make sure you pause it.
Before, like right now, like you
Like
just
as
did?
soon as you start it, press pause.
Okay.
Otherwise, see how it says 0 uploading?
Mm-hmm.
You want it to stay there.
Okay.
And then
Until it's done.
after, yeah, and then after you have to let it upload.
Cool.
Okay. So what's up, people?
Holla. Good morning. How are you? I know you had a funeral.
Dude, the it got pushed.
It got pushed?
Yeah, the funeral got pushed. The death happened. Yeah, I couldn't. That's
Obviously.
unavoidable.
Obviously.
uh, but yeah, it's such a. So my grandparents have like 70 grandchildren, or something like that, and then they have even more great grandchildren.
Because you have like 10 siblings.
I have 10, but like I said, my grandparents have like I think they have 56 grandchildren, and the majority of us have kids.
Oh my
And
gosh.
like my sister has 5 kids, my cousin has like 7. I've got 3 technically. My brother has 4. Like, dude, we all have like a lot of kids.
Damn. So do you guys get Christmas presents? Like Christmas cards from grandparents?
Oh no! Can you imagine?
No.
They'd start in September writing cards.
Literally.
My mom's actually really good about you know uh, showing an even amount of love to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair.
which is yeah, she's fair. Yeah,
She's fair. That's good. That's a good thing.
I mean, she had her favorites with her kids, and I think she saw that and was like, it's funny because like parents end up being like shitty. I'm not saying well, shitty parents end up being really good grandparents a lot of times.
Sometimes.
Well,
Not
oh, you
all.
want to?
Sometimes.
Dude, have you been seeing this meme? It's like
What?
girls with daddy issues, girls with mommy issues.
No, but speaking of, I do have something for you today since your phone is out. This is a good one. You asked, so you got it. Okay, this is a little shame shivery for me, but here we go. All right.
This one.
Yep.
I wanted to
Yep.
send it to you, but I was like,
Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, here's I don't know why I'm airdropping you this, but you asked for a Post Malone night photo.
yes.
And here we are. I don't know why this is trying to airdrop. There we go. There you go. Enjoy that. It's better live.
How do you play it?
You like hold it down, like hard hold.
Oh. Yeah.
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 I know.
Drunk Stephanie.
I wish there was a way we could like.
So we can. How do I do this? Actually, I know how to do this.
You know how. Oh man, right there.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Let me make sure I look nice and pretty before it hits the screen. Yep. There we go, people. We do recover. We do recover.
Wait, where is it there?
God.
How do you? Okay, there it goes.
Oh. So y'all don't have sound or anything, but in the live on the phone, the girl in the back with the hat on, she's saying, "No, really, we're just feral. We're feral." And I'm like walking up to the camera, like, "I'm fair. I'm the most feral."
Jeez.
So there you go. There's that.
Well, okay. How you been?
I will be.
Well, fuck it. This is your show. Why don't you lead it?
No, I like this side of the table better. I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie, but so life has gotten very, very lifey in the terms of like, um, I'm being challenged from like every angle. I feel like, and
I mean, you're a boy mom.
yeah, but it's like Okay, let's just say this. I've had to learn a lot of lessons. I've had to learn a lot of lessons in this past like month or so. I've been very, very humbled.
Well, expound on it because that doesn't say much.
All right, we'll start here. We'll start with this. We will start with a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we are live, right?
Yes.
Okay. So a few weeks ago, it was my brother-in-law's birthday, and it's just me and my baby. I texted you a little bit about this, but you don't know the whole story. But it was just me and my youngest, my 3-year-old, and we just had to make it to my mother-in-law's house to get into her car to go to brunch. That's all it was. My kid was so excited. I was so excited. We're going to see chickens at this brunch place. I was like, I haven't been to brunch in forever. So like my kid, okay, so I'm gonna tell the story the way it is, and then I'll circle back and we'll come back around. But I put him in the car, and so this is same neighborhood, like less than a mile, maybe a mile at the most. So I put him in the car, buckled him, okay? I did not buckle him in his car seat. I buckled him in his brother's car seat. I put him in the seatbelt because I'm going across the street, right? Not that big of a deal. First fuck up. But he was a good boy. He did what he was supposed to do. I said, okay, look, like we're just going across the street. Like you have to stay in your seat, put your seatbelt on, da 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 da. We have one road to cross. We're like crossing the road, the main road. And he's like, can you put my window down? And I'm like, God. And he's the type of kid that like, you know, you don't want to say no to him just because he's like inconvenient. So I'm like, ugh. And he sees me with my window down. I'm like, listen, dude, you're not in your car seat. I know you. This is also the child I have that's the hardest to keep alive. Like, truthfully, in this story will prove that. So we're crossing the street. I'm like, I'm going to unroll your window just a tiny bit, but you need to promise me you're going to stay buckled. Yeah, okay, mommy. Okay. So we get there. We like cross the street. We pull in. We're in the driveway. Cars in park, right? Cars in park. I roll the windows up. I reach down. I hit my vape a few times, fixing my fucking shoe. I open my door to get my son out, and I turn, and he's fucking hanging from the window like this, by his neck. Can't scream, can't cry. Purple. Like, not just purple, like like crying too hard purple. This kid could not make a fucking sound if he wanted to. Purple. Ears are purple. Face is purple. He's starting to salivate on the sides of his mouth. Like this was like a split second of a vision like that I saw, and I freaked the fuck out, grab my keys, undo the thing. My father-in-law's coming out at this time because he's like, come on, let's go, we're going to brunch. So he's like getting ready to put us into the other car. I just screamed for him. I was like, just get him, because I thought I killed him. Yeah. And like he's little, so like I don't know, but by the grace of God, when I didn't roll them up all the way, I didn't roll it up all the way because he was hanging there. If I would have, he would have broke skin. It was horrible. So that's not even the end of the story. So my father-in-law comes out, and he's like, respectfully, he's very like on time, very prompt, and he didn't, you know, he didn't see what happened. So I just assumed he was going to take care of my baby and like kind of. So what did I do? I fucking ran. I ran inside. I ran inside to get my mother-in-law. And she's like, what's wrong? I couldn't get anything out. I thought I killed him. So I'm just sitting inside because I thought that like if I had to go back outside, I was going to see my kid dead out there. And get chills, man. Fuck. And so finally I go out there. I get my shit together. I don't know how long it was. It was probably like maybe 10 minutes of me like inside, like you would have thought I already saw him dead, but I thought I did.
Yeah.
And so my mother-in-law's out there. Everybody's out there like, Luca. And he's just like in the seat. Nobody got him out of the car. He's just like with his chin down. And I was like, this kid needs his mom. This kid needs his mom. But I could not be his mom in that moment because I'm like, like I really did. And my husband just started a welding job out of town. So this had not even been a week that he was out of town yet. And I'm like, just take them all. Just take them. Like, call CPS. I'll call CPS myself. Like, I had like the most like I am unfit for this. Long story short, I took him to the hospital. Obviously, he didn't lose consciousness, but he couldn't breathe. So I don't know if you've ever like vomited really hard or something, and you like pop blood vessels in your face,
Yeah.
and you have like blue and what he had purple dots all over his face, all over his like little neck. He had a nice little. It didn't break skin, but he had like a little thing across, and then on the tops of his shoulders from where he got stuck. So like, I I was just sitting there like looking at the situation in the emergency room, and I was just like, holy shit. And I remember telling my sponsor, I was like, we're gonna have to work. We're gonna have to get to work after this. Because that was, oh god. Okay, so something crazy like that happens, right? And you're in recovery and that's never happened before. You know drinking's not an option. But also, like, what do you do to stop reliving that picture of your kid hanging from the fucking window and knowing you did that? And then, like, yeah. So that's where that's a little bit of where I am right now. I've had like I think I experienced like my first like true like emotional hangover where I like physically felt it. Like I when I woke up the next day from that, I felt like I had drank like a box of wine. Like I was I mean, granted I was crying a lot and I was like struggling to get my breath. So like the physical like the headache and everything else, but like I shit, man.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah. So now when I talked to my sponsor about that, my sponsor is like, okay, well, like you learned lessons. What'd you learn? Like put him always in his seat, right? Or do. And so now we're circling back to the story, like, and everybody's like, slow down, like just don't rush, like slow down. And I was like, that wasn't the case this day. Like I was slow, I was chill, like, and regardless whether he was in his car seat or his brother's car seat, buckled or unbuckled, I had already put the car in park. He had permission to get out of his car seat. So, like, I guess lesson learned, obviously, look back when you're turning it on. Always now. It's funny, yesterday my son was like, can we put the window down? And I was like, no, no, not happening. But like, so what could I have done differently? Even if I would have put him in his car seat, he was still at the point where he was able to get out because I was like, okay, get your backpack. And that was the last thing I heard him say too. I was like, put your backpack on while I'm doing my thing up here. Grab my stuff, put your backpack on. Okay, mommy. And then that's when I rolled up the window. Silence. Like, silence. It was insane. I hope that's not CPS texting you.
No.
Okay. I did take him to the hospital. He was okay. The people at the hospital made me feel so silly for feeling the way that I felt about that because they were like, it was an accident. And like, you'd be so surprised how many horrible, terrible like accidents that are worse than this that we get. And like the parents are, and I'm like, this doesn't make me feel better.
My sister, my parents had like a tall bed, and my sister, wait, which one was first? Yeah, so my sister jumped on to the bed with our, I don't know, he was maybe 4 months old, and fell back, but fell on the 4 month old and broke his arm.
The baby?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then the kid gets out of the cast, and somebody's holding him. And Mom
Wait, how old's your sister? How old's the sibling?
She's 5 years younger than me, and I think Jaden is. So she's six at the time, maybe 7.
Okay.
No, 6. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 6.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So old enough to get in trouble for jumping on a baby.
yeah, but I mean, we saw what happened. It was definitely
an
it
accident.
wasn't like a get in trouble moment. It was a
Oh shit.
oh shit moment.
Yeah.
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 Well, then the baby gets out of the cast a couple months later. And my mom, at the time, like we lived in this church. Like my parents bought this church building, and on the top floor was a family with 8 kids, and on the bottom floor was a family with 8 kids. 9 kids at the time, yeah. And so a lot of time was spent like with these kids up here and these kids down here, and this given morning there was probably 12 or 13 kids around our table, and my
Mm-hmm.
mom's making this giant pot of cream of wheat. And she puts it on the table, and the baby sticks his hand in it. And when it pulls the hand out, the from like here down, the like a glove of skin came off.
Same baby.
Same baby, same arm that was broken.
How old is this child now?
7 months, 8 months.
Oh my god, that poor. Now in real life, how old are they? Adult with
Oh
kids
no.
of their own?
Oh yeah, no, he's got he's married. I think
Normal hand.
normal scarred,
Yeah.
right?
He's got a story.
This baby had to go live in a burn center at UCSD for I don't know, it was weeks for sure though, but CPS was like same baby,
Same arm.
same arm,
What the hell?
you know, and then
Same year.
yeah.
Holy
Oh no,
shit.
it's same like first year of life,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
so
Poor baby, man.
yeah.
Ooh.
That kid ended up being he's one of my business partners on the treatment center in a different business, but one of the sweetest people alive. Just a really genuinely sweet person.
If I had like a bad scar on my hand or something, I'd be like, have you seen a scary movie? Like, take it with my good hand.
Yeah.
I would milk it.
I mean, it's not like it isn't like it was the skin came off. It was like third degree burns. They had to scrape it all the time. Do you know like how they if they leave it on, like if they don't take the scabs off and like take the dead skin off all the time,
Of a
it'll
burn.
it'll get massively infected. So like people that get burned,
So is that why they always look like raw?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and what they do is, those like hard bristle brushes, they take one of those and they scrub it. Like, yeah, dude.
Holy. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best. I have a new fear unlocked. Burns. Shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah. A
So
bristle brush.
yeah, like a hard plastic bristle brush.
I'm imagining like what you clean your grill with.
Yeah. Like, have you seen those concrete brushes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically
Ah.
it. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, parenting is a hazardous occupation, and we don't get a handbook.
There's no handbook. There is no handbook. And oh god. So it's like, okay, the physical thing happened, right? And my son's 3. He could possibly remember it. I mean,
Oh yeah, he'll remember. That'll probably be his first memory.
I mean, what the hell was his head doing out the window, son?
Yeah,
Put
yeah.
your head in the damn window. Like, but I'm the grown up. It was me, so but whatever. But like, so the physical thing happened. I'm trying to deal with the emotional of it because I felt completely unfit for all 3 of my damn kids at that point.
Yeah.
I felt unfit to take care of my own. I was like, screw it. Like, let's just lay on the couch and watch Finding Nemo. Like, fuck it. I really did not care. But I didn't think about taking a drink. And that's kind of, like last time we talked, you said something about Dr. Shaw and how you talk with him sometimes often, and you ask him, when was last time you thought about drinking?
Yeah.
And like I guess I don't know. I guess I need more information on that because like I don't think about there's not a situation like I think about it as like a reminiscing on it, or it doesn't cross my mind now. And I don't know if it's because I'm working so hard to stay like spiritually fit, but like it doesn't cross my mind like that, like an option or even something to take up space.
Yeah, I think there's two things happening at the same time. Is that you're so close to it still that like the
Yeah.
thought of drinking can be repulsive still.
It is. It's
Okay.
definitely repulsive.
At some point, like the recovery is like the lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you start involving yourself in life again, like other extracurricular stuff in life, right? Like going to Malone concerts again and like doing this kind of thing where the thought will cross the mind where it's like, oh, like I used to drink or I used to, or A drink would be like, this is a very common thought. Is like, oh, a drink would be nice right now.
I guess I do then, because I do have. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like a drink would be nice right now. It's I remember when a drink would be nice right now,
Yeah,
because I can't go down that road at all.
yeah. So the first thing that's going on, I think, is that it's so new. But then the other thing is that like a lot of people, especially in their first year, 2 years, 3 years, are intentionally staying out of situations where drinking would have been an option.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, you know, I talk to people who have like multiple years, even decades of sobriety, and it's a really common thing to hear. That's like, yeah, I think about drinking all the time, or I think about drinking once a week, or, the thought happens pretty often, right? But the
That's crazy.
and Dr. Shaw says it right, where it's like a thought supercharged by emotion turns into action.
Okay, that must make sense. That's where it is now, because I get it. I get it now. So that's why they will say like the yets and the stuff. And that's why
Yeah,
you have to stop at that thought. But what you just said though, you were like, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's just a reminiscent thing. It's not like it doesn't feel like an option.
yeah.
It's like
No,
a
it isn't even that it's an option, right?
it's
But
not.
and the mind is really good at intrusive thoughts, right? Like we are not responsible for our first thought, we're responsible for our second thought. And so typically like the sign of like a good recovery in my head around this specifically is that the thought of a drink comes to mind and the second thought will reflect the recovery.
I got to get to a meeting or something. I got to call my sponsor.
Whatever the
Shit.
coping
Yeah.
mechanism is, because it's
Yeah.
like the whole process of early recovery is picking up coping mechanisms
Mhm.
that help you identify and strategically maneuver through issues, right? Because
Mhm.
before it was the drink,
Mhm.
before it was the drug, before it was whatever negative behavior, right? And what that ultimately is, when you boil it down, is a lack of coping skills.
Mhm.
And so you pick up these coping skills and you're moving forward and you're employing these new tools, and it becomes second nature to the point where when the thought happens, then the immediate next thought reflects
Yeah,
that.
you're trained. You've
Yeah.
like trained your muscle memory now.
I mean, it's literally programming,
Yeah.
right? Like that's why the program is called a program.
Have you heard of corrective experience?
Yeah.
I'm kind of going down that like rabbit hole. That's kind of cool when you put it like that. Like the brain needs data.
Yeah, no, and ultimately what you're rewiring a physical organ, right? Neural pathways and so it's like the have you seen those cartoons where it's like the cartoon character walks back and forth so much that they end up like sunk in
Mhm.
the ground?
Mhm.
That's what we've done with our decision making around substances. Is like something happens, reactively the brain goes to the most well-worn neurological logical pathway,
Mhm.
and typically it's the coping skill that we've used the most
Mhm.
consistently, right? And it's like, so when you divert those thoughts, right? Dr. Shaw blew my mind when I was like, well, how do you build a new neurological pathway? He's like, every time you have a new thought, you've built a new neurological pathway, but it's up to you to reinforce the pathway, right?
Mm.
And so as you reinforce this pathway,
Mhm.
there's preferred pathways, right? So it's like your brain will automatically go to what the preferred pathway is.
Unless you change it.
So if you change it, or if you divert the river, right? If you
Mhm.
divert the thought process, your brain will be trained to not even go down this path anymore. It's like blocked off,
Mhm.
right? And so um, that's why I always say, you'll never be more sober than you are after day three. You will
Mhm.
be more recovered,
Mhm.
right? But um, the quality of the recovery is based on the reinforcement of your thoughts followed by action, right?
Mhm.
And so the thought is easy to have over and over. What really enforces it is the action behind the thought,
Mhm.
right? So it's like the longer you don't drink, the easier it is to not drink,
Mhm. And
right?
I always hear in the rooms like it's easier to stay sober than it is to get sober. For me, getting sober,
I think that's the stupidest thing anybody could say.
really?
Because absolutely, then why is the relapse rate so insane?
I guess. I mean, I can relate to it because it is easier to maintain my sobriety at this level than it would be if I went back out, picked up a drink, and then tried to go back in tomorrow.
So that would be uh, re-entering recovery is harder at that point. But
Yes,
I mean, is it easy to stay recovered? Absolutely. If it was easy, nobody would relapse,
that's true.
right?
That's true.
The easiest, but like in my mind, right, the easiest part of this process is quitting. Why do people quit and go back to it so many times?
That was like so agonizing for me, the
Yeah.
quitting part. But once it happened, it happened.
I
One
mean,
time.
so yeah, that's the thing is like, I'm not talking about the choices and the action that bring you to quitting. I'm talking about the actual act of quitting. Typically, the easiest part, right? Where it's like, okay, I'll put it to you this way. Um, is it easier to, uh, how do I say this? Like, this is where the choice comes in, right? It's like most people have flawed choice making decision processes, right? And the reason why, they've done this massive study. The Air Force did this huge study around like what is actually long term. Have we talked about this, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
What is actually long term recovery? Like, is
No,
it is
you
it
and I haven't talked about this.
okay? Is it quantifiable? And what they found is that you are statistically as likely to return to addiction as somebody who's never been addicted after 5 years.
So what I heard, and I might have heard this wrong, was like once you make it past your 5 years, it's easier. Did I hear that right?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so you return to the statistical data set of 95% likely to stay sober for the rest of your life if you can make it to 5 years. And
Damn.
5% is the statistical chance that any random person becomes an addict.
Okay. I'm connecting some dots. Connecting some dots up there. Okay. Are you ready for the next thing?
Sure.
Alrighty. I had to go through antidepressant withdrawal this past month. So my husband got laid off in October.
Okay.
That's where the humbling comes in.
Okay.
I sat here and I told y'all a sad Stephanie is a recipe for a relapse, yada, yada, yada. I allowed myself to run out of my antidepressants and I was unable to purchase them because of like jobs and whatever. I was unable to purchase them until I was, which ended up being like 4 or 5 weeks without antidepressants. So while all this is going on, I'm kind of like effectively burning my life to the ground at the same time. Character defects are defecting. Um, I would probably say I still probably am coming out of being like really ill tempered.
Are you back on your meds?
I am. I'm back on my meds for like 3 days now.
Lower?
Thank God. Yes.
A lower dose?
No. Like I'm starting back up to go to my dose. I'm not trying to get like serotonin syndrome and end up.
Yeah,
yeah.
Try to keep it as low as possible.
Yeah, I started off at 50 because I'm normally like 100. So I'm like, just get it in me. Yeah, but that too, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I have not gone through a darker month in my recovery because it's like my brain was really against every single thing that I knew. All those tools, all the calling the other person, like the sickness was there. And I felt the sickness this time and like I felt it sober. And I now know. So like I have this theory that like every alcoholic has like a different alcoholic death, right? And like it can be whatever you want it to be. Like for me, it could be different, but I don't picture myself like turning yellow in a hospital bed. Like that's not how I picture my disease killing me. Like my disease kills me because my self-will brought me to a place where shame and guilt is like no longer something I can survive through. So like for me, my alcoholic death is like I can't live through the guilt anymore. I can't live through the shame anymore. And my like fear, right? Because I'm running off of a million things of fear, is like I won't be able to cope with the guilt or the shame, and I will just done. Yeah. And that's scary. And so like I felt that. I really did feel that. And I love my life. Like I really do love my life.
Yeah.
And so like And then like with that, your brain is sick and like you don't really know like what's reality really, right? Because like am I just being crazy right now, or is like because like if you had asked me a week ago, I would have told you everybody in my life is crazy to me.
Hmm.
Everyone is acting crazy to me. They all have their claws out. Fuck everybody. I'm going to Mexico. Like I'll walk there if I have to.
Hmm. Why Mexico?
I don't know. It's closest. Can't walk to like Colombia.
Colombia?
That's our, the motherland. I
Sounds,
mean, just random places. I don't know.
yeah.
Fucking whatever. But like, yeah, I felt the spiritual warfare. Maybe
Yeah.
is that it?
Yeah. I mean, so yeah. 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 If Dr. Shaw always says, like, either everything exists on a spiritual plane or it doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, yeah. I also, I, 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 I think it's interesting how people just defer to my disease wants to kill me.
I
Uh,
don't think my disease wants to kill me. I think my disease wants me to kill myself.
I just, so I think, and I think this plays out in real time all the time, right? Like, the majority of people who drink or use for minus fentanyl, right? Like it's a long engagement, right? It's very rare to find like the person who drank themselves to death,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's very rare to outside of fentanyl to find like I know crack addicts that have been smoking crack for 30, 40 years. I know heroin addicts that have been slamming heroin for 30, 40 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't think our addiction, I don't even like calling it a disease anymore, right? I think our addiction doesn't want to kill us. I think it wants to keep us alive and miserable for as long as possible
Mm.
because it spreads, right? And misery loves company.
Ooh, that's dark.
Yeah, I mean
That's dark when you put it like that.
this
Like
is the
it,
nature of it, that when you
yeah,
actually look at what addiction is doing,
it's a beast.
it's spreading misery
Yeah.
through either one person or multiple people or whatever.
And you don't even have to be using it.
And that's the thing, is like it
Mm-hmm.
spreads to the non-participants,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, I am convinced that addiction doesn't want to kill people. It does on accident, right? But
But it
it's
wants you to live in misery.
they even call it accidental overdoses,
Yeah.
right? It's like, why wouldn't they call it intentional overdose? Like, there are some people that intentionally overdose, but those are almost always very identifiable, where they're like, this person I obviously intentionally overdosed. The rest of it, it's accidental overdoses,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, so I get it that like you're ascribing to a specific framework, and that's part of their whole programming, right? It's like, but when I logically deconstruct what's going on with addiction, I'm like, wait, addiction doesn't actually. I know personally, uh, outside of fentanyl, um, maybe 3 people, 4 people that have died because of addiction, and one of them, it was my buddy's girlfriend. He was coming off of heroin and he strangled her to death. Right, like that was more of just the spreading of the misery, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
Drugs were involved, but not like,
right.
yeah.
The other one, it was like he got shot by um, somebody who was robbing him. He was a heroin dealer, and somebody was robbing him. Right. Other than that, it's like, and then my friend that he took so much Xanax that he hung himself. And when they did the autopsy, they were like, he probably has no clue that he did this.
Ooh,
Right. And it's like, these are horror stories
they
of
really are.
addiction deaths, right? But it's like the majority of people that I know,
Yeah.
they don't have the luxury of having like an early death.
That is true. So my father's brother, my uncle, he passed away a couple years ago now. He did turn yellow. He did the whole.
Yeah.
He would not stop, and that was like the first person. He was like an icon to our family. I mean, he was like just the funniest person. I mean, you could talk to him about just the stupidest shit, and like it was just it left you laughing all the time. And he would not stop drinking. And when you have like a personality like that, that's like I said, like an icon to your family, everybody else is like, just fucking stop. And and he's like, what happens
Yeah.
happens. He and he passed away. He was That's why I say the yellow in the hospital bed, because I did see that with my eyes. Like I did see an alcoholic
Death.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and he's not here anymore.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't have a brother now. Like my aunt doesn't have, her brother. So like that's a big reason why I sit here too. But I also, what you said about like, that's so fucking dark. I'm still on that because like if our addiction doesn't want to kill us, if it wants us to live in misery, like that's fucking worse.
Well, like it is the slow death, right? Yeah, it is a slow
It wants
death.
to keep us here, right? So it can, like, for what you're saying in your theory, it wants to spread. It wants to, like,
Yeah.
that's sick.
And so more than anything, if it's a disease centered in the mind,
Yeah.
right? That's what they say. It's a disease centered in the mind. Well, then wouldn't that actually fit the definition of a mind virus better than anything? Because a disease is very definable, and it's also almost always found under a microscope.
I feel like it should be kind of called a virus too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because, like, and we've talked about this, like your immunity and stuff, like, your vitamin C, you go outside. Like my sobriety has the shelf life of 24 hours, right? You hear that all the time. Like, I just lost my thought. Take it away.
Immunity.
Oh yeah. Like, you have to work at those things. Like you have to, it is a virus, but I could get it again. And I was pretty close to, like, in terms of like virus and getting sick. Like I wasn't sick yet, but like a couple weeks ago, like my nose was starting to run, we'll say. I was starting to get symptoms. I was getting sick.
Sure. And it's like you can get viruses multiple times, right?
And you don't die from the cold, like a cold itself.
Right.
It's what do you go to the doctor right away? Do you face it head on? Do you run from it? Do you pretend it's not?
Yeah. Are you looking for the signs of early like symptoms and like, yeah, right? And it's like with cancer, this is the one that everybody, you wouldn't be mad at somebody who got cancer, right? It's like, that is a very, like, you could find it under a microscope. How do you find, I mean, you could find viruses under a microscope too, but if you're talking about a disease centered in the mind.
Well, they say, like, I saw something, it was on, I'll have to find it, but it was like the doctors are going in and they're like checking our brains, and there's like, before we can even be coherent and process it, our brain is already green lighting it.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, that's the positive reinforcement of negative behavior through the architecture of the brain.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like some subconscious signaling that's going on pre-conscious awareness of whatever the issue is, right? Like you were showing symptoms of like your relationship with your mom before you understood that it was a problem, right? And so like with addiction, it's subversive anyway because it's so fun up front, right? And so there's all of this signaling going on. There's positive reinforcement. There's also like, you always hear these stories of like, I remember distinctly the first time I got drunk because it was so amazing, right? Like, how do you negate that kind of signaling?
I don't remember the first time I got drunk because I think I blocked out.
Yeah, you're an alcoholic, but
that's like high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't remember that for me. That one. I mean, I remember like the second or third time, but the first time I think I went lights out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty good signal there.
But I thought it was fun. I thought it was cute. That's what I thought we were supposed to be doing. I thought I was the life of the party. And that's the crazy part too, is like that there's like 2 minutes you got to grab it before it's got you. And that's all you got.
Well, and for some people, it's just not it doesn't matter if you think you're just an addict.
Yeah.
Like you are already preconditioned. You already have these like determining genetic factors that says like if you abuse this thing, right, you are fucked. Right, and then it's even still, it's like even if you use it responsibly, you're probably still fucked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the mental back and forth, the good and the bad.
Well, it's the genetic roulette game, right? Where it's like, if you have these genetic predispositions, it's literally like a 1 in 1,000 that you fuck around with this and don't end up addicted.
Yeah, that scares me as a parent. That scares me as a parent.
A lot of kids that are raised by recovering alcoholics and addicts are really good about this stuff, though.
I hope so.
Or it's like the complete opposite. and it's like,
Yeah.
but again, that's
Well,
that.
we rebuke that. That's not going to be our case for either of our children.
Well,
Or,
it's nature versus
but-
nurture, right? Like you can, like,
yeah. That book.
yeah,
That book.
yeah.
That book. That book. Because like, so like another thing for me, like my depression. I don't like calling it a depression because it's like it just feels like a disgusting funk of like everything bad is about to happen. I like have the impending doom. So
Have
bad.
you seen the symptoms of depression like listed out?
Would it be like what would it be like headache?
Dude, it's like,
Or would it be like everything from A to Z?
well, let's see.
Chat GBT, am I depressed?
So when you look at it, like persistent low mood, anhedonia, hopelessness, irritability, restlessness, social withdrawal, but then fatigue, sleep disturbances, appetite and weight changes, cognitive issues, physical pains, and the physical pains, the list of this is exhaustive, right? It's like there's so many of them, and then slow movement and speech. There are more physical symptoms than there are mental symptoms,
Yeah.
like by far.
See, I don't know what would that like impending doom be though. Is that like a physical or an
No,
emotional
it is a subset of hopelessness.
hopelessness?
Yeah.
So that would be an emotional. Yeah. Cuz that like that's why I got on my antidepressants to begin with. I thought something bad was going to happen to my oldest son specifically. I just felt like that. I was like something is going to happen to him. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel like this. And I would spend all night crying myself to sleep. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Sounds terrible.
It was terrible. My husband's like playing video games in the corner of the room. And I'm like, don't turn around. Like, I'm crying back here. I'm figuring my shit out. Like, I need you to just stay over there and leave me the fuck alone. Like, because it was just so sad. Like, I'm sad. I'm figuring out life. And you know the real kicker? I'm trying not to like have a pity party that I don't have a damn mother. Because, like, I'm not going to lie to you. When I hurt my kid like that on accident, all I wanted was my mom. All I wanted was my mom. And I hated that. I fucking hated that.
Shout out, mom.
Hi, mom.
Probably gonna watch this.
Probably. Please don't say anything mean because I'm a little. Not today. But yeah, like, and then, yeah, I don't know. It's just your brain's all fucked up when you're not on antidepressants. And so then, like, you know, what's reality, right? I have, like, I created some, I'm not going to say I created. I'm going to say maybe there was, like, there was some confrontation created, like, amongst my family. And now I'm in a situation where I realized I never had boundaries or knew what the fuck boundaries were to begin with. Everyone has a key to my house now. Yeah, you can laugh all you want.
So funny.
You can laugh all you want, but like I was the broken, you know, daughter without a mom that are we going to AA?
Have you read this yet?
Have I read the introduction to AA?
No. Look what this is.
What is this? Oh, no, I haven't found that. So what does it say on there? Does it say I'm not a member?
No, it's like one of the last thing it says somewhere. Oh, these are stories.
I popped a sleeping pill. I saw that.
Okay, where is this? You know, it's the never-ending stories. Okay.
Note to medical professionals.
Okay, here we go.
All right, let's read it.
Go ahead.
All right. Some alcohol. Okay, can you zoom in just a tiny bit? Like a little bit. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Okay, some alcoholics require medication. We recognize that alcoholics are not immune to other diseases. Some of us have had to cope with depressions that can be suicidal, schizophrenia, and sometimes require hospitalization. Bipolar disorder and other mental and biological illnesses. Also among us are diabetics, epileptics, members with heart trouble, cancer, allergies, hypertension, and many other serious physical conditions. Okay, so they have to take medication. Because of the difficulties that many alcoholics have with drugs, some members have taken the position that no one in AA should take any medication. While this position has undoubtedly prevented relapse for some, it has meant disaster for others. AA members and many of their physicians have described situations in which depressed patients have been told by AAs to throw away the pills, only to have depression return with all its difficulties, sometimes resulting in suicide. We have heard, too, from members with other conditions, including schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, epilepsy, and others requiring medication, that well meaning AA friends discourage them from taking any prescribed medication. Unfortunately, by following a lay person's advice, the sufferers find that their condition can return with all their previous intensity. On top of that, they feel guilty because they are on top of that, they feel guilty because they are convinced that AA is against pills. It becomes clear that just as it is wrong to enable or support any alcoholic to become re-addicted to any drug, it's equally wrong to deprive any alcoholic of medication, which can alleviate or control other disabling physical or emotional problems. Some AA members who have required medication can change. Damn.
So, and then there's story after story after story.
So what I got from that was like kind of stay in your own lane when it comes to medication.
I mean, there is a practice of something called medicine. These are this is what doctors practice, just like we practice our recovery, right?
Yeah.
This is their professional practice. And although the average primary care provider or physician only gets 6 hours of training, like formal training on addiction, there are addiction specialists out there, right? And they, it's like if you've got these co-occurring disorders, is specifically what it's called, right? Which is another pamphlet on that, right? If you've got these co-occurring disorders and you are working with a doctor that is not aware of the addiction problem as a whole, go to a specialist, right? And then it doesn't matter. This is where I'm going with this is people's opinion of the way that you are handling your recovery is none of your business, right? It is their problem.
Fuck, I gotta come clean.
What?
I got something else.
Well, that's amazing, but that is good.
That's why I'm so glad you're my sponsor. I love you to death.
Yeah.
All right, here's another thing. I have been able to stay sober this whole time while still using marijuana.
Okay.
So, what do you say? Okay. Yeah, that's like not a big deal to you or to me to like have a conversation like that together. Well, mix in all this bullshit that's been going on.
Okay.
Now I feel I got to give that up.
Okay. And what's wrong with that?
I'm scared.
You're scared of what?
Of putting it down for some reason.
Okay.
I'm
Why?
scared because it's all I have now. It's all I have left. And
wait, what do you mean by that?
like, fuck, the answer's in the question. It's all I have to like.
So you are effectively still depending on an outside of you thing to cope.
No.
Is what you're saying.
Like, the comfort of having it.
Okay.
And not using it.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what homeostasis is?
I've heard it, but you might. Should I?
Let's. The tendency toward a relative stable equilibrium between interdependent elements, especially as maintained by physiological processes. We were born in homeostasis. That's our natural physical zero, right? It isn't positive, it isn't negative. This is just the baseline, right? And so, yeah, I am not against people who say that they're Cali sober, right? I'm not against people who were once meth addicts that say that they're in recovery, but they still drink.
I wouldn't say I'm Cali sober. If someone asked me, I would be like,
You're the definition of Cali sober.
well, right now, I guess I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but I wouldn't say that I was. I would just be like,
Well, does that mean that you're not though? Just because you wouldn't say it.
I could say I'm a fucking unicorn, you know?
Why?
Because I have a ponytail. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
So like, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So I'm in this inter fucking battle with myself with that because I feel shame there, and I know I feel shame there, hyper shame right there right now because
why?
because of that, and like I do believe that there are medicinal properties to marijuana.
Sure.
I do believe that, and like I do believe that sometimes it can allow me to have an easier time. Now, I don't mean to say that as like I would replace my higher power or anything with it, because like I know that if all the weed was gone, like I know I would still be okay because I have God, but just fear.
Yeah. I mean,
Fear of the unknown, even though I know it's going to be fine.
mm-hmm.
Just all I've known. And you know, like I'm talking more, I'm being more honest, I'm being like I can't go, you know, hey, this is who I am. Like I smoke weed in recovery.
Yeah. Look, the
I don't know if I will always do it. I think I want to put it down just because of the way that I have alcoholically thought about it. While whether I was on my antidepressants or not, I don't like the way that I was thinking about it like that.
Okay.
I don't like the way that I was like, fuck, I think I do need this. And I was like, hold on, you don't need anything. Like, and then, you know, the delusion
mm-hmm.
and like justification and stuff. Like that's all alcoholic shit that I've been taught to like be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to put that down then too. If I care about not drinking, I feel like I should at least go that way for a little bit.
So this is what you're going through.
How's that for honesty?
Yeah, no, that's great, right? It's the evolutionary nature of recovery,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like Scott, my executive director, he didn't go to meetings for the first 9 years of his sobriety, right? But then he needed more.
Is that the one that you have the show with? The other
Mhm.
show with? Okay. It's
Yeah.
the same Scott?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, he didn't go to meetings for the first 9 years of his recovery, and then he needed more. Like his recovery had evolved to such a point where it was insufficient to continue to do without whatever framework he needed, right? So he went and founded an AA, right?
So he was to that point where like not taking the drink wasn't enough anymore.
Yeah, I mean, but also drinking was never like an option, but he had become stagnant in his evolution, right? And so when I constantly talk about the guy that's got 30 years in the back of the room that says, well, I just didn't drink today, so that's a win. That is a stagnant evolution.
Yeah, that's not a win for me.
For sure.
And I said that when I first came on here, like, no, that's not the end goal.
I mean, yeah, for sure. And so it's like, if you used a tool to get you to this point and then your next step is to become absolutely, totally abstinent, fucking great, right? But the question, especially because I look through the paradigm and the lens of peer support, right? Like you're talking about a peer support journey. You're not talking about a typical AA journey because abstinence is required before the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you're using substances that aren't addressed in a specific fellowship,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a lot easier to just hide that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just not talk, oh, I'm not drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm following all these principles and I'm doing this, right? But then it's like, are you following all the principles?
No, because
Or are you-
your secrets keep you sick.
Right.
And so like if if I can't walk into the AA room and feel like I mean I don't want to walk in there and like share about that every time, but like there has been times where I'm like, man, I'm feeling like I'm telling a secret or I'm telling a lie, and that's gross feeling because
Yeah.
like now I'm aware of that shit in my recovery, and so I'm like I can't. Basically, there's a lot of like non-negotiables in recovery, and like, you know, peace, obviously, big one. If something is like, even if I think I like it, like weed, even if I think it's helping me, it is messing with my peace a little bit.
I mean, so when you get down to like the epistemology of the philosophy of recovery, right? Like have you ever done something that you know is good, but you felt bad about it?
What
Or
do you mean?
done something bad that you know is bad, but felt good about it?
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, like in my drinking for sure, but not the other way around. I can't think of that right now.
What about in your recovery? Have you done something that you know was good, but you felt bad? Like it didn't make you feel good?
Yes, 100%. I
Okay.
just had to set a boundary like this week. Yes. And my sponsor, we hear this thing all the time in the meetings. They're like, if it feels good now and hurts later, that's your will. If it hurts now, feels good later, that's God's will.
Okay, so the like how do you actually know what's good? Right? The subjectivity, like the ambiguity around these definitions is like, especially in recovery, right? It's like, for me, I have known nothing but destruction and devastation for my entire adult life, like my entire adult life. And so I have a good mirror to look at and be like, I probably shouldn't do that, right? Or
That's
this
your
isn't.
moral compass now, though. Your moral compass has been realigned.
Okay, so now we're talking about what are we rooting foundationally our definitions of good and bad off of, right? It's our morals. Okay, so now what are your morals founded on, right? It's like a lot of people have this, like in recovery, we have the benefit of needing God, right? So we can actually foundationally build our moral systems off of something that is unchanging.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other people don't have that benefit, right? Where it's like, well, what is good? What is bad? Right? And a lot of people will just revert to these like regurgitating these things that sound good, right? Like good is when it benefits other people and yourself, or bad is when it hurts people unintentionally, or like whatever, right? And
Yeah.
it's like,
Who says good is bad and bad is good? Like,
right, because
who
it's
says that? Yeah.
let's what about like the conquest? Was that good or bad?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What lens are you looking at it through? Like they decimated entire populations of people. Was that good or bad?
I know. So, can I look at it like weed? Okay. Like, I've smoked weed throughout my recovery, but I've maintained my sobriety from alcohol.
Sure.
So it's confusing. It's a whole bunch of different
But
like
why is it confusing? Is it because you're taking on what other people have set in place for what your recovery should look like? Or is it because
yes,
you're basing it on what it benefited you?
yeah. Well, because I guess I'm scared one day somebody's gonna, well, you're not in recovery.
Well, ask them why.
Yeah. Why am I not in recovery? Because I feel like I'm in recovery. I feel like I'm in recovery. Everything feels so.
Look, making an argument from feeling is a terrible way to delineate why it's good or bad, right? So if you can actually logically play out why it's good or why it's bad, that's a good delineation for why something's good or bad. So if you just say, well, I feel like it's good, people are going to be like, so I feel like killing somebody today is good,
Mm,
right? And it's like, so if you can actually delineate the reason why I'm in recovery or the reason why this was good for me is because I got to here,
mm-hmm.
right? And now I'm taking the next step of shedding whatever this is, right? It's
Ugh,
like,
yeah.
could I have gotten to this point without it? I don't. You can play hypotheticals with it all day, right? No, I couldn't have. Yes, I did,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's like,
It's
look at,
shedding. You're right. That's what. That's where.
yeah,
If you had to ask me like the word like to put it, that's where I am in recovery. I'm at the shedding process.
yeah. And so
It's uncomfortable.
people talk about the onion of their recovery, right? Peeling back the layers, peeling back
Yes.
the layers, and it's like you can always go deeper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if this was like something deeper that has now come to the surface and you're peeling that away,
Mm-hmm.
then that's just the path that you have taken, right? And it's like, this is why peer support is so amazing, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
CCAR kind of set the bar and the precedent for this 20 something years ago when they said, you are in recovery when and if you say you are, not if they tell you you are, or not if. And it's like, well, how do you know when somebody's in recovery?
You don't then, I guess, right? Because it's not your
Nobody,
business. It's
nobody.
not your business.
I mean, and the literature reflects this, right? And you can walk into any room in America today, and there will somewhere on the wall be a framed picture of these words. It says, "To thine own self be true,"
Mm-hmm.
right?
Makes sense.
Whatever that means. Like, what does that actually mean,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, I can't define your recovery based on my experience because it's just fundamentally different.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, judge and then put on your definition of recovery to somebody else because it's fundamentally different.
It does create like a barrier with the fellowship, though.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know?
look, if groups have, and this is perfectly fine for groups to have set standards and like metrics for what they use to say that somebody is either a member or allowed to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can say that they can or can't do that. They can do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? What you can't do is tell somebody they are or are not in recovery, right?
Hmm.
What you can say is you can't be a member, which there's only one requirement for membership,
The desire.
the desire, right? And it's not the
The
desire,
desire to stop. Let me finish that.
right?
The desire to stop.
So, I mean, once you've crossed into the realm of desire to stop, then can anybody stop you from being a member? Participation is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are very clear cut standards for participation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so it's like, are you respecting their boundaries?
I tried to look up an NA meeting because I don't know what else to do.
Oh, that's going to be even worse for you because they very clearly delineate that weed is a drug.
So like that's what I was like, and I don't know who to talk to about that. So what do? I get on a podcast and I talk to fucking everyone about it.
Sure.
But like I got the NA app on my phone because I'm like, okay, well maybe if I go to a meeting, like it'll put it into place for me. I belong here, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
But I do hate the standard of like, or just the thought or the fear, whatever, that if I continue to, use marijuana medicinally, whatever, even if I
Well,
decided to misuse it,
It can't be medicinal if it's not prescribed.
my addict brain went somewhere with that. I was like, I can get a prescription if I
No,
want
no,
to.
I mean, you could, right? And there are people who have, and then it's.
I think I would qualify though, with the depression, and all I have to do is tell them, like,
I mean, sure, let's go get on Xanax. Fuck it, right? It's like, what are we really like? We can use
Yeah, that's
the systems and standards to justify what we're doing all day, but it's to thine own self be true, right? It's like if you are manipulating systems and standards in order to justify negative behavior, then you're just an addict still.
Mm-hmm. In a different jacket.
No, the same jacket, just with a different veneer. It's like
Yeah.
you're wearing a mask,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how yeah. But then, what's crazy too? Like I just said about the fellowship though, like weed or whatever, like gummies, specifically gummies.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of women that I've met in the rooms that they're there for like stuff like that.
Sure.
That they like the fellowship, but they're scared to say that because they think that they're not supposed to be there if that's like their problem or if that's something that like they can still do, like whatever. I don't know.
So look, AA, the history of the fellowship. Have you like dug into that?
No, but I did. Oh, I left it. Damn it! I left it in my car.
I want to show you something.
I just started a book study, and it's the plain English big book, and I just found out that Bob, no Bill, was a patient of I know. Okay, I just found out in the plain English. Okay, the fucking other one. Look, I enough of that.
So look at this. Bill Wilson, the co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous.
You really just did that. You didn't know that? You fucking...
I mean, it's in the doctor's opinion.
Yeah, but it's like gibberish when you know.
I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear.
Well,
like,
now I know.
Yeah, he's telling Bill's story through the doctor's opinion.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so Bill Wilson, the co-founder of AA, experimented with LSD in the late 1950s. When was AA created?
In the 30s.
34. The book was made in 34.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Was this LSD though? Was this like using LSD in like a? Are we talking about they're doing it in like a psychotherapy type way?
This goes over it, right? It's like primarily under the supervision of Dr. Sidney Cohen, and Huxley, super famous physicians, right? He was seeking to accelerate the spiritual awakening necessary for recovery, believing that
Oh.
LSD might help alcoholics overcome chronic relapse, especially those who could not grasp the spiritual aspects of AA. He was like they got a bunch of doctors together and they were like, "Hey, do you think that if we gave somebody withdrawing from alcohol LSD, it would stop them from relapsing?" They were using medications to help people accelerate a spiritual experience. So the initial motivation, Wilson sought to re-experience the and he was using it himself too, right? This was 20 years after the book was made, 25 years after the fellowship was
What was
created.
LSD in that time period though? Like was it like are you talk is it like street drug like or
No, no, no.
are
I mean,
they
it was overseen by doctors,
okay.
but then they were also using. So we'll go over it, right? The
Okay.
initial motivation was Wilson sought to re-experience the profound spiritual experience he had in 34 that helped him quit drinking. The goal of the usage, he aimed to find a tool to help addicts find a spiritual connection more easily, hoping it could aid in treating alcoholism, particularly for those with limited progress in the traditional AA programming.
Mm.
He took LSD multiple times in controlled settings in the late 1950s, guided by research and philosophers. He believed that he carefully controlled LSD. He believed that carefully controlled LSD usage might be beneficial, but ultimately the experience did not lead to widespread adaptation within AAU due to the controversy and concern over replacing one addiction with another.
Aren't people still doing this?
I mean, so now we are also in the second psychedelic revolution, right? Where people are discovering because of science the benefits of psilocybin, right? And so now, like
That's the
Austin,
mushrooms, right?
right?
Got it.
So now in Austin, they've got like
Like microdosing and all that stuff.
no spiritual retreats where they're going like camp. They're going to these like camp settings where they're not like camping in tents, right? They've got like these camps where people will do like ceremonial psychedelic use, and the majority of these people are in recovery.
There's you would know what it is. I don't know what it is. There's a it's a drug. It's like 3 letters and people use it.
DMT.
Yes, that. I got when my son passed away, one of my uncles told me that I should try that. And I've never but that's what that reminds me of. Like I've never used it or anything, but that's what that kind of like reminds me of a little bit. It's like let's just kind of throw noodles. Let's throw shit at the wall.
So the crazy part about what they ended up doing was that if you read the language here, right? But ultimately the experiment did not lead to widespread adaptation. Widespread. So there was still a contingency of people that were doing this. Widespread adaptation within AA due to the controversy and concern over replacing one addiction with another. Not because it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely worked. If it didn't work, they wouldn't have continued to do this with other people.
Due to controversy and concern over replacing one addiction with another.
Right. So
not saying it didn't work.
Correct.
Okay. My light bulb is light bulb one.
Okay, so the reason why I go down this is because if it worked for you to get to this place, right? If this was the first lily pad that you used to get you to whatever the next phase is, right? The next phase of your development, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then who is anybody to tell you that you are right or wrong or in recovery or not?
Yeah. Yeah. But I know better now.
Okay. Did you know better then?
No. I didn't. I didn't know better. Now I know. Now I don't know. Now I don't know. I don't know what I was trying to say. I know better that I shouldn't, like I know what addiction looks like now.
Okay.
So having gone through like this just like hard time that I just went through, I'm still in. Like, I don't know. All you know is all you've ever known. So I don't know anything else, but I do know that I put down alcohol and God carried me through that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, but it's a mental war with weed for sure.
Okay.
And there's a lot of women I know that can relate to that like mental war too, because we're like, it helps, it makes me, it helped me, it allow like, see, I hate saying that because like I need my higher power, that should be my higher power, but like,
But what if you're not there?
what do you mean?
What if you're not there to be able to just strictly lean on your relationship with your higher power and this helped you get there?
100%, that's what it has done. But I think now I'm having like growing pains with it because I'm shedding
Sure.
and it's done. Like I think like the bell can't be unrung.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go. It's like, am I going to work farther towards this way, or am I going to? Because that our secrets keep us sick.
Mm-hmm.
So if I feel like I'm keeping a secret, which now I don't, I just I just let it go. But hopefully I'll get some peace from that. But like, I mean, it's not a big deal that moms use marijuana, and it is a tool, I believe, for parenting. I really do, especially parents that are like me. Like, I'm married, but I'm a single mom right now. My husband's out of town and doing like, he's a welder, so he's here, he's gone, he's here, he's gone. So like all the emotions of my kids, like all that falls on me to help them regulate that, and that's a heavy burden to bear. So not even a burden, it's just a heavy weight.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure everybody's regulated. So like for me, and I can speak for a few other moms like in the rooms and stuff as well, like the worst part of using it is the AA part, is what we know about AA.
Sure.
So it's hard. It is hard, but I guess I did a brave thing by saying that, by telling on myself here. But I guess like my purpose in that is like, I do want other people to know, like, if they are struggling, like depression, alcoholism, like whatever, pretty much the whole thing is like, nobody would have thought I was smoking weed still, but like I am. It has got me this far, and like, I guess at the end of the day, I don't want to feel sick anymore. So like, take it.
Yeah, I mean, and so there's
Take it away.
cognitive dissonance. You know what that is?
Maybe.
Holding two conflicting beliefs at the same time.
And it's the hard thing too, because sometimes both can be true at the same time.
Absolutely.
That fucking sucks.
Right? But but there are beliefs based on experience, which you have, right? But then there's also belief based on conviction. Right? And it's like, you from what I've seen is when you have conflicting beliefs and one is based on experience, that was based on conviction, what is the more important, which one is going to hold weight longer, which one is going to benefit you the most? And it's like, I know that heroin feels good, right? I know that all my problems go away, right? And it's like, but does it mean that my convictions will allow my experience to override it? No.
Mm-mm.
Right? And so now it's like you're at a crossroad, right? This is a very typical thing to happen in recovery, where you are now evolving into the next step, right? And it's like, a lot of the times, from my experience, is that my recovery and all of those growing pains and like fork in the roads, like when I make the right decision, it gets infinitely easier, right? Like the decision, once it's made, right? Not like, oh, I'm going to do this, but like, the decision is made when action is put behind it, right? Once the action starts, it's like it just snowballs and it becomes easier and easier and easier.
And I've done that. I've done that with alcohol.
Sure.
So like, I can do it with weed, but it just comes down to like, do I want to?
Yeah.
Do I want to, white knuckle it a little bit to like, and like, I don't take my responsibility with my kids lightly. Like, I don't want to be the mom who yells at them. I don't want to be like the screaming mom. But like, and that's one of those tools that I have, that like, for whatever reason, I can hear one single voice instead of three. And I can put out a fire easier for that specific child if all of my all of my bullshit is quieted. And like, that's just what helps me there. I may need a different antidepressant. I've only tried one. So like, I don't know if that also, maybe I need something stronger there with like, I I don't know. I wish there was like a super mom pill that could just make you the best mom in the whole world. And
Yeah.
like,
Have you heard me like talk about tools and technology?
I don't think so.
The easiest way to say this is you can build a house with a hammer or you can beat somebody's head in with it. Right? So
Yeah.
it isn't the hammer that dictates the outcome.
Yeah, it's not the weed.
Yeah, it's you,
It's
right? Is the
me.
operator of the technology or tool that dictates the outcome, right? And so if your outcomes are reflecting your desires, this is the way that I do it, all right? It's like, are my outcomes being reflected, right?
What do you mean?
So, like, is my desire in line with the outcome,
Okay.
right? If my desire was to build a house and I beat somebody's head in with it, then it didn't align.
Yes, correct.
Right,
Correct.
if your desire is to be a good mom, and I'm not advocating for anybody to stay using drugs or to quit using drugs. I'm just saying, like, you need to figure this out for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
of like, are your outcomes aligning with your desires?
Yeah.
And then if they are, then what are you foundationally building? What good and bad is? And does it align with that? Like, you can bring it all back to your foundations of like, what are my foundations? And does this dictate that I am going fundamentally against my desires?
All right, I'm gonna throw a fear on the table. So a bit major fear that like I have is like I will put it down and I'll do good at it, but then like what if I relapse down the road? Then I lose this like to stand
We can
on.
play what ifs all day though.
I know. I know.
Because what if that doesn't happen?
What if, and that's where the corrective experience has been coming in for me because I'm like, what if it doesn't happen? Like this podcast and sitting here and like all the things, even being on TikTok. I haven't even had a TikTok for a year yet. I set a small goal. I almost have 100,000 likes, and that's like a really cool thing for me because like I didn't have a TikTok last year.
Yeah.
That's like corrective experience for me because like having, anytime ever before I used my voice and it was like, shut the fuck up. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? So like now I'm having like the positive, like, I don't know, 1 to 2 people viewing a video is like a corrective experience for me, or somebody not leaving a nasty comment is a corrective experience for me. So like, that.
Yeah, I mean, what it all, like, for me at least, right? I left AA, right? And I talk about it publicly all the time, and I get lashback for it all the time. But
you were never an alcoholic. Like alcohol was never like your drug of choice.
I
right?
left 12-step programming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So not just AA, like you left the 12 steps. Like,
So in the
so
traditional
you
way
have a
that
different spiritual like roadmap.
no,
It's the same.
yeah,
You follow your 12 steps.
yeah. So this is what the 12 steps laid a foundational pathway for me to continue on with what I, and dude, this is so I'm speaking out of turn because I'm not a participant of that framework, right? But just from the outside looking in,
Mhm.
and also having one time being a been a part of that, right? It's like
You had a bad experience at AA here.
no.
too.
I had a bad experience with the rooms. I
Yeah.
never had a bad experience with the book. Okay.
Okay. I feel like that's important to hear. He's never had a bad experience with the book.
Yeah, no, I try to clarify this all the time that the peer support work that I do is to prepare people to do the 12-step work. And I don't tell them to go be a member of AA unless they choose to be.
So you're like a prerequisite.
I personally think that it should be the first lily pad before people, because here's the other part is like, how are you going to tell the drug addict that's living under the bridge, in order for you to be in recovery, you have to quit everything? Dude, that is an unsurmountable, like, daunting task.
That was kind of me.
Right?
That was kind of me. I mean, I didn't have a whole bunch, but
But if somebody sat you down and said, you can be in recovery today if you start working towards it, and we can help you find that path, right? It becomes a much easier, like, proposition to one day be abstinent.
Yeah.
Then, like, in
Yeah.
order to even start down this path, you have to be completely abstinent. It's like, well,
Yeah.
fuck that then.
Yeah. No, I do feel that, and I don't feel like stopping everything all at once is an organic way to live. Like that's like a dramatic. Like that's
Sure.
like
Look, it works for some people. It it works, right? And some people, it's absolutely necessary. For some people, it is out of the question. It's just not even. It's not even possible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what peer support says is that everybody. It doesn't matter what they're doing. Everybody is capable of recovery,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what does the path there look like,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you know, so I also like to clarify this is that I am like a student of William White, right? Like I've read a bunch of his books. I think this dude is amazing. Um, and he said that in the history of addiction treatment, never has there ever been anything more effective than 12-step programming, right? So we can't take that away from it. It's there's never been anything more effective than the treatment of alcoholism and addiction in the history of that treatment than
The 12
12-step programming,
steps.
right?
Yeah.
And so this is a well-worn path. This is a very constructed pathway for people to go from a piece of shit degenerate to a contributing member of society.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, the majority of the reasons are bullshit, right? The reality is, if you work the program, it will work, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you actually work the book, it will work across the board, right? So a lot of the reasons why people say that it didn't, people I hear it all the time. It's like, well, AA didn't work for me. It's like, well, did you sponsor anybody?
Like Shia LaBeouf. Have you heard that video recently?
Dude, yeah, but so he's on. So okay, Shia LaBeouf, right? He has a spiritual conflict, like because he is extremely Catholic. There he's like trying to be like, I'm gonna do this and that, not that,
Mm.
right? Which
Mm.
is valid too,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the thing is that Catholicism, in and of itself, wasn't created to treat alcoholism, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a vehicle. The vehicle. So I look at 12-step programming as a vehicle, right? It gets you from point A to point B.
Pretty effectively, I would say.
Yeah, no, I mean, and so when people are like, "Oh, AA didn't work for me," or 12-step didn't work for me, I always ask them, "Well, how many people did you sponsor?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? And almost unanimously, I've met a couple people that this wasn't the case, but like a large majority, like probably 95 plus percent, say that they've never sponsored anybody.
A lot of people haven't even finished the steps, though.
Well, the reason why I ask if you sponsored anybody is because if you got to that point of sponsoring, then you worked the program,
Mm-hmm.
right? It like that means that you definitely
Mm-hmm.
didn't do everything that this program entails. And so
Mm-hmm.
how can you say that something didn't work when you didn't actually do
The
the
whole thing.
program? Yeah.
The whole thing. Because, like, literally, step 12, it's like, go get a sponsor now or a sponsee.
Yeah, well, I
Pretty
mean,
much.
it's go out there and continue to carry the
Mm-hmm.
message, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, if you didn't get to that point, then how can you say that? That's like saying that you didn't like something that you never tried,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, how do you know that you don't like it if you've never tried it?
Yeah, I'm grateful that I got through my steps because there's some people that still haven't finished their steps since I've came in.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
I mean, I've seen that work too, where it's like, do you know the 15-minute?
I think you told me about it, but I never did any research. It was supposed to be like 15 minutes and 6 steps or something.
Yeah.
We're really using our Google today.
Check this out. The original 12-step structure was drafted by Bill in 30 minutes. That's how long it took him to. That people constantly talk about how it was divinely inspired.
Do you think you could find it? I wonder if you could go to like images or something. I wonder if there's like what adapted from it.
Oh, it came out of the Oxford group. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, so okay, so wait, did it say how many steps it was? Did it just say that?
Well, I asked a original 12-step. So let's say this. So the original 6-step structure was the precursor to the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous, used by the fellowship and early members So whatever. Um, com-
Okay, so this is like step 1 through 6.
yeah, complete deflation, dependence on higher power, moral inventory, confession, restitution, and continued work. And okay, so initial session, early members such as Earl Treat were guided through all 6 steps by the co-founder in approximately 3 to 4 hours.
Now we're talking. You get some recovery out of that, I feel
Yeah,
like.
but at the end of that, right? At the end of those 3 to 4 hours, you were going because a lot of this was done in sanitariums, right? And so they would literally go from, I mean, it's in the doctor's opinion, right? They would go from one room with the guy that just finished it to the next room and now worked. That guy was going to work it with the next guy,
Yeah.
right? And that the whole point was whatever the fucking issue is, let's talk about it, get it over with, and now let's go help other people, right?
Because it's like you throw your shit out, you can't leave it, right? They say that, like, throw it out there, leave it there. So that's like hopefully what this is. Hopefully this is me throwing all my shit out there and leaving it, because yeah, I told you I was gonna do like a 5th step.
Yeah, I mean, we can just call this a peer support
Yeah,
session.
we will. I know you don't like that.
I mean, I just like to have respect for what they're doing, right? It's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people don't even understand that this was the history of what they are now participating in, right? It's like once you know your history, like knowing your history goes a long way.
I wonder the difference that it would make, though. Like, I really do wonder the difference if it was a 6-step program today versus like still being a 12-step program.
Even when they developed the 12-step structure, they were still doing it immediately, right? And
like, what do you mean? Like working them through it and pushing them out?
yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's like the first 1,000 got sober, got clean, and stayed sober and recovered for the rest of their lives.
And then those people, if they each did that with,
Yeah,
yeah,
right. And it's like I can't remember where I read this, but it was like thousands of people did it this way and stayed sober. And now it's like you've got
it's
this
in the letters, the doctor's letters in the beginning of the book. They talk about that.
right.
They talk about yada yada. We just read that last night.
So it's like I don't know. I find that there has been a lot of personality injected into it, where it's like, well, you got to do it. And then the 12-step model that was created for the treatment industry. It's like, where in the book does it say you've got to write 10 pages of resentments, or like that in order to do your 4-step correctly, you've got to fill out this document. Right? It's like that's not in the book fucking anywhere.
No, I think it's just like the document is like just help, because there was this woman that I heard at a meeting, and I think it's probably for people like this. She was an older woman, and her example was pork chops at dinner. She's like, when I sat down with my sponsor, she said that it took her like forever to get through the steps, but she's like, when I sat down with my sponsor, she like things I've done wrong, she's like, I had nothing. I couldn't write anything down because I've just been so people pleased. And I'm like listening to her. I'm like, yeah, bullshit. You know, you've had an attitude somewhere with somebody. But she was talking about how her sponsor was like trying to break her of that, and like being selfish. She's like, I'm not selfish. I was a great mom. I put my kids first. Da 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 da. And then she's like, but then I realized. She's like, I did make their plates first, and I did do all this, and I did all the great things, but I saved the prettiest looking pork chop for myself. And so I think, I don't know, I think about stuff like that. You're Googling and I'm getting distracted. I forgot where I was going with that lady.
Pork chops.
Yeah. She's just like, I had
the process of the steps in the document.
Yeah, she didn't even realize. But I think about people like that who have, like, that's why I think there are extra steps in there, because she's like, I had never hurt anybody.
Yeah, so look, I'm not saying that it is wrong. I'm saying that it's arbitrary. I'm saying that it's made up, right? And it's like, if people think that this is divinely inspired, then why are we changing it?
Yeah, because we're putting ourselves in it.
Because we're injecting personality into
Yeah.
it. And it's like the personality component of it, I believe, comes from, well, if it worked for me and then it works for them, it reinforces what it did for me. Right. And so now really it's not even about that person. It's about making sure that what I did works. Right. And it's like, yeah, but what if it doesn't work for that person because you didn't do it how it was structured? right? Now, is that your fault? No, it's that person's fault because it didn't work for them.
And that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. That's
For
a lot of pressure to
sure.
put on anybody.
For sure.
You know, somebody else's recovery. I do have a sponsee. God, I probably owe her an amends because I feel like I've totally fell off the face of the earth this month with her. But I do get to, when we worked I worked her 5th step with her, and man, that was cool. That was really cool. People talk about like,
dude,
leaving with
there
a
are
high.
5th step ninjas. Have you heard of these?
No.
People that have just done so many 5th steps that it's like they're like wizards with 5th steps.
It, I was expecting more because my 5th step was pretty heavy. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to like sit in on everybody's 5th step now and be like,
dude. So just start asking people, like, hey, like start asking other people that sponsor, be like, hey, can I come sit in on your 5th steps? And typically they say yeah. And the reason why
you
is
get a
because
lot from that.
and there's an art to the 5th step, right? On the sponsors in the sponsors chair. So like one of my favorite AA people like ever, he'll go in and sit him down and be like, all right, here's all my shit, and just unloads all his shit, and then it's like, okay, what's going on with you?
Yeah, match that.
Yeah.
You know, and it breaks the barrier though.
Yeah, because everybody else is like worried about what other people are gonna think, and it's like, well, here's all my shit first, right? Like now we're on an even plane. Tell me what's going on. Right. And this gives people like that window to be like, oh, I can talk about my sexual trauma. I can talk about like my deviancy. I can talk about this. I can talk about
terrible
that.
things I've done that I've been just sitting inside me.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those things for me, I got so much relief from it. Oh my God, my sponsor like almost laughed when I told her, but I like blacked out at a bar in the middle of the day. I called my ex up there to fight with him, just to fight.
Yeah.
Not to like hang out, to fight. I ended up like, once he got there and I was like, screaming in his face because it was daytime. It's probably like 2 p.m. I chased him out of the bar, knocked a chair over on the way out, and hit him with my beer bottle over the head. I don't know if it was over the head. I don't know, but I remember like coming to a little bit, and the beer bottle was broken. And I like can see his face a little bit, and that was like what I had been living with. And I remember I told my sponsor, she's like, "Okay," and I was like, "Okay, yeah. You're not gonna send me to jail for that."
Yeah, it's
that was one of them, but yeah, I can share that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. The whole process is magical, right? It's like
it is.
The freeing nature of the process is magical,
and realizing we're all fucked up.
Yeah, I just had this conversation. I went on Two Addicts and a Moron, and I was.
It's not out yet, though, right?
Tuesday.
Okay, I was creeping.
Tuesday.
I was like, this is cool.
And it's like, dude, it doesn't matter. I think everybody would benefit from a 12-step program.
Dude, it should be a high school course.
I mean,
it should be a freaking high school course. I'd make my kids do it. Shit.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is that it's like the majority of the world will never have the Who said it? I think Plato or Socrates. Somebody said it. He said, "An unexamined life is not a life worth living." Right? And it's like the majority of people never put themselves under a microscope because the majority of people stay in the solution and avoid the problem at all costs. We are coming from the problem towards the solution. And so we have like all of these like
that's where the corrective data comes in again though.
Yeah.
Cuz I have to experience as much as I can to give my brain the data that it needs to make a fair assumption on a situation.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like coming in here. No, don't go in there. That's going to be fucking terrible. Your mom's going to troll you on the internet and yada, yada, yada. Okay, that only happened once, really. It wasn't that bad. Everybody else thinks she's stupid on there. Like, you know, corrective experience.
It happened multiple times. Well, whatever.
Yeah, but like stuff like that, you know? Like, okay, my mom's not going to be my yay. Somebody will be. And you know what? Even if nobody is, I can clap for my damn self.
I had a guest on here. Her name is Rachel. And dude, there was like family wars going on in the comments. Yeah. Because, you know,
is it
it's
still
like,
there?
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel. Okay. Rachel, I'm watching your podcast.
Yeah. Rachel E.
Cool.
And
nobody likes to have their shit aired out.
well, she didn't air anybody out, right? It was
Really?
just the detractors and just the negative
Mm.
opinions of other people.
Mhm.
They couldn't help themselves. They had to say their opinion, right? And it's like
Mhm.
the reality of the detractor and the reality of the hater is that, in my opinion, right, is that um, your ability to move forward from whatever the situation was is hurting them so bad because they can't, that they have to voice their negative opinion,
Which is sad.
which is sad for them.
It is sad for them.
But ultimately, that's their fucking problem,
That is
right? So it's like, I tell people all the time, I am fine.
I'm
Yeah,
fine.
I am good.
I'm good. Me too.
And if you're not, you need to look at that, right? Because your opinion of me is your problem, not mine.
Yeah, that's where you're hula hoop. But I can't get that. I want everybody to think I'm Mother Teresa until I roll my kid's neck up in a fucking window and I get
Yeah.
humbled real quick.
Yeah, but I mean, there's underlying things to that too. Like, why do you actually want people to? I mean, that doesn't actually sound that attractive to like think, have people think that you're perfect. Sounds
It's because I want people to think I'm a better mom than my mom was. I want people to be like, "Oh my god, she's such a great mom." I want the mom praise.
okay. So, but is it in the opinion that you get validation or the action that you get validation? And if you're getting it from the,
It's the action. It's like being the good mom that I get high off of.
yeah, so then the outside validation should hold no weight. And also the opposite of that, right? The detraction and like all of the negative opinions should hold no weight either.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I do the right
Boundaries.
well, yeah. So a lot of people do the right thing out of fear of consequence, right?
Yes.
They don't want the negative side effects of whatever it is, right?
Hmm.
But what if they just did the right thing because it was the right thing,
That's what I'm learning.
right?
That's a lesson that I learned this month. Like I did the next right thing the fuck out of this month. Like really and truly I did. Whether it was like, you know, man, I'm like in it. My husband and I are being ugly with each other. We've got resentments we're working through and stuff like that. And like, what can I do right now? My kids need to go to the dentist. I know what I'll do. I'll make their dentist appointments. Like
Okay.
just random, like the next right thing. I'm very proud of how I can do that now.
Negativity in all of whatever that means
Uh-huh.
lives in the self, right? And so the 12-step call, right? Like to help other people is a mathematical equation to relieve you of yourself, which is the negativity,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I always tell people it's like if you're having a bad day, if you're going through something that's negative, if you're not where you want to be spiritually or mentally, all you have to do is find somebody and help them. And
That's
it will
true.
immediately go away.
It is true. It is true. That day I rolled my kid up though, there was nobody I could help to get me out of that. And that was scary. That was really scary. Like,
How do you know there's nobody that you could have helped?
well, like there was nobody in my I mean, today I could help somebody from
No,
that.
that moment. Who says that you couldn't help your son feel better or help? There's somebody out there that you can always help.
I mean, I helped my son get out of the window.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know,
The whole
man.
bottom line is get out of yourself.
I need to.
Yeah.
I need to. And for that one, I beat the shit out of myself for a for a good week. And then I had Susie, actually, my last little guest. She's the one that told me, "Okay, girl, well just let me know when you're ready to put the baseball bat down." And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Why? Cuz I'm beating the shit out of myself?" She's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Ugh."
So that's another thing is like alcoholics and addicts have a proportionality issue. We don't have like things proportionally like kind of
Everything's
meted
the end of
out.
the world.
Well, and it's like it's either the worst thing in the world or the best thing in the world, and it's
Mhm.
like there needs to be like a proportional distinction in the like outcomes, right? It's like how bad was it, and then how bad is what you're doing to yourself in proportion to it,
Mhm.
right? It's like was it an accident? Did you kill him? Did like I mean it's like And it's like,
And mind you, this is a traumatic situation because I did see his brother in that like dead state.
for sure.
So
For
like,
sure.
oh my god. And then all like, oh god, all somebody told me to play Tetris. I don't know if you heard this. Somebody said Tetris is really good for when you're reliving trauma. Like Tetris helps your brain. I don't know why, but there's
Pattern recognition.
probably helps you putting it like it helps you. I haven't played Tetris.
Tetris is such an. You've never played.
Oh no, I have.
Okay,
Like I
okay,
have
okay.
played it, but I haven't like played it, you know, to help with the
Yeah, yeah.
situation. But
For some reason, that makes sense, and I'm now gonna deep dive into that.
you should.
Yeah.
If it works, you should tell people to play Tetris, for sure. But I saw his brother dead, and so like for the whole 15 minutes I'm inside, I'm just like, oh my god,
Replaying.
I couldn't. I don't have any of them now. And then I future tripped into I'm gonna have to call my husband and tell him I killed our other kid.
Yeah. See, all that could have been avoidable if you just went outside. And see, this is where like a big problem is, where it's like when you live in your feelings, you live in the realm of most of the time not reality.
Because it's so dramatic up here.
Right.
Like that's what you said. Like end of the world. Like so good, so bad. Whatever it is, I'm going to find a way to like dramatize it.
Yeah.
And I got to stop myself with awareness and like, yeah, that one was hard. But then I did. After Susie told me to put the baseball bat down, I had like the end suddenly, right? The end suddenly, I had the thought, what happens if Luca calls me one day and he's like 25 years old and he rolled his kid up in the window? What am I going to do? Am I going to call CPS on him? Am I going to tell him he's a shitty fucking parent and he shouldn't have kids? No.
Yeah. Bring it proportionally back.
Yeah,
to the
I'm going to tell
reality.
him it's okay. Like, and I'm going to be the mom then that I didn't have in that day because I wanted my mom. But and here's where progress, like, and progress comes in. I would have called my mom in a crisis before, and it would have made it worse. But I was able in that moment to stop and be like, if you pick up that phone and you call her crying right now, you are gonna have to eat shit for this later. So don't fucking do it. And I was able to save myself from that. Didn't break my no contact. I didn't go down that emotional road. So like by me not reaching
You
out
have
to
a
her.
no contact order with your mom.
I mean, it's not like an order, but yeah, like I didn't break my no contact.
Okay,
It's an order in my.
Yeah.
She's serving time.
Yeah.
But like and I've only gone no contact with her since like November. So like I just went through my like first holidays without her. All that shit, you know? And I got kids. I got kids that don't have, like you said in the beginning, parents get to be such great grandparents. Like there's so much resentment in that. And I have to stop and not let that resentment come over into my mother-in-law, into my in-laws and shit. Because like if God forbid my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law go get a fucking meal without me, I think I'm just like the biggest piece of fucking shit and nobody likes me and I'm not meant to have a mommy or be a sister. And like that's me. Ism.
Yeah.
That's my ism. That's my character defects. Like that's this oh god, there's so many of them. There's fucking so many of them. But yeah, I want to compare. I want to pity me. I don't have a mama. Ugh, God, my stupid sister-in-law has a mom. Like, you know, I want to do the sickness.
Yeah.
But long story short, when you get back on antidepressants, you feel a little bit better. You got a little more pep in your step, and like the illusion is less illusioned.
Delusion, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The illusion. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's the scariest fucking thing when you can't trust reality in your head. You know?
Well, you just said it. It isn't reality. It's in your head.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the scariest thing when I can't trust my own reality. Like my eyes are like on someone else's fucking head.
But it's not reality.
It's not reality, but in my head, it feels like reality.
So then is it delusion or reality?
I mean, I'm fucking Delulu.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole, like, reel it in, right?
Yeah.
Reel it the fuck in,
Yeah.
right? It's like, but grounding, I hate that fucking thing.
I hate it too. Ugh.
But
God, go touch grass.
grounding in a metaphorical sense, right? Like having good grounding coping mechanisms and stuff. Not like
You know, my ChatGPT told me to eat a salad yesterday.
that. What?
It told me to eat a salad.
Okay, what did you ask it?
I was like, oh. Okay, so I don't, when I use my ChatGPT, I'm not going on my fingers. I'm recording and I'm like, this is what the fuck just happened. This is what they said. This is how I feel. And then it'll come back and it's like,
Usa.
I'm with you, girl. Let's take a breath.
No.
Type shit. Yeah, she talks to me like she's my bestie. She's my bestie.
You know what? You should start using Claude.
Is it better?
Way better.
Really?
Fucking, it's just so different.
Do I have more uploading and stuff? Because like I'm like maxed out on my shit. Like I'll send my ChatGPT like an entire argument and ask her to tell me
It's
where I need to make an amends.
vastly different. It's
Yeah.
just vastly, because ChatGPT feels sanitized compared to
Really?
Claude. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a new bestie.
And because I was using ChatGPT, like my life depended on it, and then I found Claude, and I was like, holy shit.
Do you have to pay for it?
I think I do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try Claude then. Cause yeah. But yeah, she told me to eat a salad. She's like, you should try grounding yourself, something crunchy, maybe a salad. I was like,
Crunchy? I've got a hippie friend. She describes herself as crunchy granola.
crunchy granola?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's like I feel like when I tell people I'm hard to pet. That's how I describe myself. Hard to pet.
Yeah.
Don't pet me unless you want me to.
Yeah. Little chihuahua. Well, all right.
Yeah. Good shit.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'm definitely clipping some stuff out of this.
Can you please?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh God, I'm excited. Yeah, I still haven't. It's on my list when I get feeling a little bit better. I think I'm gonna make like a TikTok about Post Malone and see what happens there because I've started looking at some of the photos again.
That was good stuff right there. Yeah.
I would like to tell you that's all I have.
Hey, have you been seeing this whole spring break thing?
Spring break thing? What you talking about?
So, you know how spring break typically goes to Miami and like all of the university students converge on well, it's here in Houston this year.
What, Galveston?
No, in Houston. And they're just all over. They're in Galveston, they're in Houston, they're like traveling all over.
In Houston.
Dude, you've got TikTok, right?
Uh-huh.
Just do it right now. Just type in spring break Houston and start going down that rabbit hole.
What's going on?
You will be so glad you're sober.
Oh my God. Spring break Houston. Have you seen those massive buzz balls?
These ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what is going on?
Dude, it's a fucking circus. Houston is a circus right now.
Where is this? I think this is. Oh my God, this person's passed out.
Dude, it is so insane.
What is going on? Where
Dude,
is this?
This is just happening all over Houston. I mean, it's just fucking insane. I'm surprised you haven't seen anything.
I haven't. I've been watching all the Harlan Williams shit with the Amish boy. We need to get that Amish boy.
Dude, the last comedy show I saw was Harlan Williams.
He's so funny.
He is so fucking awkward.
I love it though.
I like paid for us to like sit on the stage, like right here.
Were you hoping you were gonna get roasted?
Well, I was hoping she would get roasted.
Why?
Right? And
why not you?
You can't roast me. Because I'll just admit to everything.
Hashtag roast him.
Roast me. Go ahead.
Roast him.
Go ahead.
Hey, do you put your shopping cart back yet?
You know what I did?
Roast.
I quit going to the grocery store.
Doesn't count.
It does.
No, that doesn't count.
Because in absentia,
that's the
right?
easier, softer way.
I'll take it. I'll definitely take it.
Easier, softer way.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Because you just don't want to put the cart back.
I mean, because I already know I'm not. So it's like this, right? Like, why am I going to go to a bar if I know I'm going to drink?
Why am I going to go to the grocery store if I know I'm responsible for putting my cart back?
For sure.
Okay. Well, I'll work on my weed thing.
Yeah.
You work on that.
And I already solved it. I literally haven't gone to the grocery store since like early December.
I'm just going to avoid this in total. I don't want to feel like a shitty person. I'm just not going to fucking go to
I just got tired of because it was. Do you know how many people on the show have talked to me about the shopping cart?
Really?
Dude, like 4 people.
After that or like just randomly?
Before you and after you. Yeah.
That's a clip right there. You
Yeah.
should make a clip and be like, who actually,
Yeah.
honestly puts their shopping cart back? Because I do. and I challenge
And
anybody
that's
to
the
see
other
me
part
in
is
a
like,
parking lot. I will do it.
sometimes I like just refuse to believe that there are people out there that put it back every fucking time, regardless of where they park.
You're looking at one. 100%.
It just doesn't.
I got to make the
compute.
person's life easier. Like I have to make their, but that's where I come to with no boundaries, right?
Wait, hold on though. What I see it as is I am solidifying job security for these people. Yeah,
They're gonna have to get him anyway. They're still gonna have a job.
sure, but
Sure.
but
they're still gonna have to take the cart, whether you take it from your, like they're still gonna have to return them.
right. But okay, have you ever pushed shopping?
So
carts?
you just want them to work harder. You want them to work for their money.
What's wrong with that?
Okay, God.
I'm not saying I'm just saying that like most people that work hard are more fulfilled by their job.
All the moms that have kids that are grocery cart little people, they're watching this right now and they're probably like, that motherfucker. My 16-year-old comes home, sore arms. Damn near got hit by a Buick.
I pushed shopping carts. That was like so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Why didn't you say that?
Yeah. I pushed shopping carts at Ralph's in San Marcos for I think like 10 days.
That's where it is. There you go.
Yeah.
That's why you don't do it. Or you got something
Well,
there.
there's like there's like components to this, right? It's like I would rather be out there doing that than in there bagging groceries.
Okay.
Right? And so I would like, and this was like when Walkmans were a thing.
Oh yeah, I had a pink one.
Yeah, I had a Sony like it was actually called a Sony Walkman, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't listen to music in there, right? So I would just go pointlessly like push carts around the parking lot and listen
So you
to
looked
music.
busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
I hope one day you put your cart back. Just
I'll never have
because
to. I'll never have to.
You don't know that, but I hope so.
I've made it a point to just not go grocery shopping. Literally, like, literally. My wife was like, "Why don't you go to the grocery store anymore?"
Because now everybody's watching me for my cart.
I had to break it down to her. I was like, "Because I don't have to push the shopping cart back." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Look, it's a long story, but the bottom line is I feel guilty about it, but I know I'm not going to not do it." So,
Yeah, I feel that.
but
Good shit.
all right, guys. Well, nobody's here anymore, but
I am.
yes, we are. Okay, everybody, thank you. We will see you in 2 weeks.